Aries got here, and it's time to talk about Mushoku Tensei. Now, this is the real beginning of season 2 after we had the Sylphie episode, kind of like tying in, showing us what happened to her. But this time we have Rudy being back, and this is why I love Mushoku Tensei. Just having this episode kind of reminded me of season 1, and one of my favorites episode has to be Roxy helping him get over his past trauma, not being able to go outside, being scared of other people, the unknown. What happened to him traumatized him very heavily. This is why Rudy is one of the most controversial characters. He's also a piece of shit, I'm gonna be the first one to admit that, but also why he's the way he's, not to justify his action. There's the trauma with what happened to him in the school, and here we have a bit of something similar with what happened to him, with how season 1 ended, and also everything else before that, losing his parents, everything he's been through, and right now how things ended with Aries, which I'm really curious how she's gonna react when she finds out how hurt Rudy was. But this episode is him trying to deal with that pain, and also finding a reason to live, to keep going, moving forward for his mother Zenith. And I really liked this episode. Let's just get into it. We have the beginning slow. I really like how it puts into this scene. Insert your Skyrim meme here, this carriage in that snowy road, and the two new characters, which I don't know if we're gonna see more of them, Sarah and Suzanne here. And I really liked Sarah at the start, and even Rudy, she kept reminding him of Aries, and Suzanne kind of being a bit like Ghislaine. She kept pushing Suzanne to finally talk to him, but the state that Rudy was in, fully depressed, jaded about everything, he was like a walking ghoul or a zombie there. Nothing was interesting him, even trying to have a conversation, kept sighing, full on depression, but he still went on to look for his mother. Now, Suzanne was the first one there that tried to talk to him. Hey, what's going on? She was worried about him, but he barely had any engagement, so to say, in that conversation. I'm sure a lot of us have had moments like that where something bad happened, or just one of those moods that you can't really get yourself to talk to people or explain anything that is wrong here, even though he tried a bit, saying he's looking for his mother from the incident here. And Suzanne and Sarah, I like them quite a lot, but Suzanne really felt like that joyful character, that she's willing to help others, and their meeting was something very good because Rudy really needed this. I'm thinking, where would he have been if this random encounter didn't happen with them? And she offers to give him some information of the continent there, with the three great nations, how they're the only ones that are actually doing okay, every other nation is poor, just explaining him how everything works around there until they reach the town. When they part ways, at least for a bit, he goes to a hotel, and even just Jaded pays for the room. They're like a lot more money than it was needed just to go in and sulk in the room, like full on depression, with that hair strand that he had from Aries. Just shows how much it broke him, how things ended at season 1. But I liked him just still having that small willpower to think of Zenith thing. I still have to focus on Zenith, but it's not like you can say just stop being depressed and do what's needed to be done. It's not flip a switch and you're not gonna be depressed, just be happy, right? It's not gonna be that easy here. So he still has a lot of things to figure out and go through. He tries to go to the Adventurer Guild. Everybody was bad-mouthing him there, and the reason why he's there, he wants to disband his party, and because Ruijerd is also not there, Aries also left him, so he kind of feels abandoned right now. So there's no reason for that party, but it's not gonna be that easy. He says he wants to disband it, he hesitates a bit, but he still goes through with it and wants to take a jab. And we see, I think he kind of had some, I don't know, panic attacks a bit in a way, with the way he was reacting, those headaches, and his chest hurting, tried to go for what was in his pocket that we find out later in the episode. But this is where Suzanne shows up, and I feel like she was one of the most important characters in this episode. She fully reads him, knowing what he was going through, seeing what how he was there, and he didn't really care if he died. That was kind of the mentality he had here, and she tries to help him, to get him to join their party. And this is where he keeps seeing the similarities. Sarah looking like Ares. Although she kind of looked a bit more like Zenith to me by her appearance, but her personality was a lot more like Ares, being more and more annoyed, so to say, kind of like a brat with Sarah and Ares. And he decides to join, or just kind of goes along with it, so to say. He wasn't really in the decision making mood, so to say. And they go on the mission. We get a bit introduced to all of the party members of Counter Arrow, Suzanne being the sub-leader, front line fighter, Timothy the long-range mage, he was the leader, Mimir the healer, and Patrice another frontline fighter, Sarah being the support archer. And she was very blunt, not wanting Rudy to be there, and she kept saying it every moment, which kind of, he wasn't upset at that, she just reminded him so much of Ares with her personality. But this is where we see like it was beneficial for both of them to have this encounter, for both Sarah and for Rudy, because Suzanne was also trying to teach Sarah a lesson, how to be an adventurer, how to interact with people, how to be more civilized, to be able to handle with other adventurers if need come in the future. Even Rudy saying, oh, they're just using me to help her, kind of seeing himself like a tool and useless, basically having no reason to live, and everything moving forward. And this was the moment when they showed it really well, him seeing Ghislaine and Ares in both of them when they were walking here. Now, as for the mission, they started planning the mission. I'm like, I'm sure you're gonna plan, but I'm sure it's not gonna work the way you want it to work. Hey, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this, I'm gonna be front and everything like that. And Rudy wanted to do more. He was offering help, which I really liked. I'm like, he's probably gonna be able to handle all of this alone. I knew he was gonna come to that, but the way Sarah was just dismissing everything he was saying, just again more reminding him of Ares more and more with every interaction they were having. And considering his state, that was bitter to say the least. And then we have Timothy having an alone moment with Rudy, trying to apologize for Sarah, saying she's a good kid, but he wasn't upset at what she was doing. He was still in full-on depression. Even he left while he was talking with Timothy. But this is where the important things happen. This was kind of like an introduction, so to say, up to this point, and they finally go for the mission. And it started going really well. Timothy was blasting those monster bears with magic. Rudy was slowing them down, but he overheard something bigger was coming, and mud-covered black grizzly bears. And this was the moment where you see fully that Rudy was about to give up his life, to be killed by those bears. Everybody was trying to figure out what to do. More and more dangerous was coming, and he was there standing to accept his fate. But Suzanne comes in and saves him, protects him, even though they were surrounded, and they started fighting for their lives to save each other, showing how much they care. They were an actual, genuine party. Reminded him of what it means to live, so to say, of his own party, how thing used to be. And him at the start, he didn't recognize that. Was, why isn't nobody running? Why am I finding this exciting? And the reason is they care for each other. He finally remembered why he was trying to move forward. And this was the moment I waited the entire episode. of course, for him to get over this depression wasn't gonna be easy, and he's not over it. He just found something more important to do, or his only reason to live. Like I said, it's not a switch. You don't get over it. You deal with it, and he goes in to face the bear, and like, this is the moment I've been waiting for, and just that ball of flame tactical nuke, and it looked so good and so satisfying, kind of signifying him moving forward a bit. He just blasts those bear to nothing. Like, thank you, this is why I love Mushoku, kind of him getting over another trauma, so to say. And after that we see a bit of the aftermath, taking the pelts, everybody thanking him, even Suzanne coming in a bit shy, saying thank you and I owe you one, and him also being thankful to them, because I don't think without them Rudy probably would have died, honestly, in a ditch. Just you saw him giving up life there for a moment, and yeah, this helped him a lot, very, very much. So now back at the guild, they go back in with the pelts, and of course the others were dismissive of them, backmatting them in the back, and we have a moment showing how you can deal with people, especially from Timothy, buying drinks for everyone and giving credit to their party, but also to Rudius. Or here, there's a new party in town, Counter Arrow and Rudius. He hasn't officially joined, he's probably not gonna join their party. This was a very good encounter for him and also for them, which I hope we're gonna see Suzanne and Sarah more, but I'm not expecting them to be very important characters to move forward. I would love so, maybe they are, but I feel like they achieved what was needed in this episode. But back in the hotel room after the party there, we see what he was carrying in his pocket around his waist. Of course, it was the panties. We knew this. Of course, it was the panties there, and he finally realized what he forgot about living. He forgot about living seriously here, and it finally hits him. Everything, all the trauma breaks down, all of the emotions he was bottling up, he finally lets it out, and this was the best part of the episode, and just shows how important Roxy was for him, remembering how she helped him in season 1, that episode there, and thinking he has been through wars, remembering also his trauma from his first life, and he finally admits and moves forward a bit with the way things ended with Ares. He burns that hair strand, throws it in the fire, and new motivation, thanking Roxy. And Roxy, probably one of the most influential characters for Rudy, and this is the beginning of the search for Zenith and dealing with the way things ended in season 1. But yeah, a really great episode. This definitely felt like the start of season 2. Last episode 0, felt more like a special sort of episode, tying season 1 to season 2, seeing the fate of another character, which was awesome, don't get me wrong. I love Sylphie, but this is also the main story that we have here, and I'm so happy Mushoku is back. I wish more people saw what I'm seeing in the series. A second chance for somebody who's very messed up, very flawed character that we have in Rudeus, and the amazing world that is in Mushoku Tensei. So I'm really curious what you guys thought about the episode. What do you think how Rudy was after season 1, with how things ended, and how do you feel how he has come to the conclusion, so to say, with this episode? Let me know in the comments below, and are you excited for what's to come? And I'm also worried about Zenith, because it's gonna be a long way finding her and very hard. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Mushoku Tensei. Make sure to check out the podcast also, Because Anime. I'm gonna see you again in the next one. Bye bye.